Sayadaw. Sayadaw, sorry. Sarah, we cannot hear your voice.
Now, can you? Okay.
Yes, it's okay now, Sayadaw.
Okay, now we will start talking about 10 meritorious base. So when we are doing some of these 10 meritorious deeds, then there will be kusala citta, wholesome consciousnesses. So here we have dana, generosity. Everybody know what is it called dana. We don't need to elaborate too much. So we have already mentioned 8 different types of wholesome consciousnesses. When we do dana, one of these 8 will arise. When an arhat do dana, then there will be one of the 8 functional consciousnesses. Then we also do sila, morality. We have already explained Banadipata, Adinadhana, all these things, right? When we are doing one of these sila, when we are undertaking precepts also, there will be one of the 8 consciousnesses. Okay, now you are doing bhavana, mental development, or meditation. Under the name of bhavana, there will be samatha bhavana, vipassana bhavana, 2 types. Before you attain jhana, it will be one of the 8 consciousnesses. When you attain, there will be jhana mental process or jhana consciousness. Similarly, in vipassana, we will start discerning nama rupa, cause and effect relationship, until we can attain path and fruition knowledge. And every single insight knowledges, it will be one of the 8 consciousnesses. These are called bhavana. Okay, we have to move the next one. Apachayana, respect. Okay, we may have many different types of respect, also many conditions of respect. Though there are some people, they are worthy of respect. For example, elderly people and virtuous. But sometimes, although they are very old, they are not very virtuous. What to do? It depends on how we feel. Right? Some of the people, they are worthy of respect. Some people, they are not worthy of respect. For example, when we are learning from the teacher, we have to respect the teacher. Okay, similarly, when we are working for the community, we also have to respect community value. Different country may have different culture, so we have to respect their culture. For example, when we go to Sri Lanka, we have to respect their culture, as long as it does not break our precepts, right? And similarly, when we go to many other countries, we have to respect their culture. Then we come to Nepal, right? We have to respect Nepal culture also. So that means some of the culture are breaking precepts. In this kind of case, although we don't follow, it doesn't matter. Okay, Apajayana means we have many different quality of worthy of respect. As we have already known, sila, sure, this is worthy of respect. Somebody is virtuous. The another thing is, for example, right effort, knowledgeable. Then this kind of quality, this kind of value are respectable. Somebody has very good knowledge, or is high educated, well educated, or well learned. Also, virtuous. Not only that, well focused, or well concentrated. Another thing is, he may have very strong confidence, very generous when sharing his knowledge, experiences, and also properties. When someone has this kind of quality, they are worthy of respect. So this is called apajayana. If we don't know how to respect value of people, we cannot live in the community. We cannot upgrade our value also. Okay, now here we have another one, Vayavacha, duty and service. So we have to fulfill our duty. This is also called Vayavacha. We just do some service, volunteer works. This is also called Vayavacha. So it depends on our ability. We can choose any type of Vayavacha. It will be very wide in the monastery. Okay, now vertically in this retreat, many yogi also work in the kitchen. Some yogi they also cleaning here and there, right? Working, sharing duties. Okay, when we talk about Vayavacha, it's not for money, not for earning. It's just for serving people. We can say volunteer service, right? This is called Vayavacha. Then we have the next one, Patidhana, sharing merits. Then you may have a question. Do we have to share whatever, whenever we do dana, we do sila or samadhi or any good practice? Of course, if we can do it, it's better, right? Even last night, there's a question, right? The one who encourage and the one who do dana, who can get more merit? That kind of question last night, right? Okay, now in the case of Patidhana, when we share merit, what's the benefit? Of course, other party can rejoice over our merit. Then when they can rejoice, then they can also generate more merit. Then there are also some question. When we share merit, then who can get more merit, right? It depends. Sometimes real donor, for example, is not that much happy. Okay, practically, you may have seen many kids, you know. I know there are many family. Now here also you may have your niece or nephew or some younger generation, right? If they offer to the bhikkhu, maybe the kid may be not that much happy. Maybe parents will be more happy. Oh, their son can do, their daughter can do, right? In this kind of case, the one who can rejoice can gain more merit. So another thing is sharing merit. Sharing merit means we should keep one simile here. Here we have candle lights, which are only one candle light in this room. We just share many candles to everybody. Just put only one lit candle like here on the altar. Everybody come and lit. Everybody come and lit. It's a multiplying. So if we do dana, just recharge ourselves, it's only one candle light in our hands. If many people come and lit, it's just brighter. Then we lost nothing. We also can get a lot of profits. This is the nature of sharing merit. Another thing is a Pattanumodana, rejoicing in others' merit. So sometimes people also misunderstand. If somebody can share, if somebody share merit, we can rejoice. If they don't share, we cannot rejoice. This is actually misunderstanding. Whether they share or not, we can rejoice. Whether real donor, real meditator, real the precepts undertaker, right? They share or not, we can rejoice in other people's merit. This is called Pattanumodana. Then I remember one story. A story about two fishermen. One fisherman had very big family. Another fisherman have small family. One day they discuss, okay, we are fishermen, we have to kill living beings every day. Then maybe we should skip one day fishing. We should go to the monastery and undertake every service. They discuss. Now people the fishermen with a big family say, for you it will be easy because you have small family. I have big family. If I don't work, no food. Then they cannot arrange proper time. So that means one fisherman with small family go to the monastery and undertake precepts. So a fisherman with a big family had to go for fishing. In the very day, a fisherman in the monastery remember the river. He remember river, you know. Oh, now my friend will be fishing. If we do fish together, we get that amount of fish. Now we have to share. Now he will fish alone. Then he will get all portion for himself. Undertaking research in the monastery, generating lobha. But his mind is in the river, fishing. Then the fisherman in the river remember the monastery. Oh, my friend is very lucky. He has small family. He can undertake every service. I think now he was meditating in the monastery. He was happy for his friend. You can imagine the opposite. In the monastery, he's in the monastery in passing, right? But he remembered the river. Another one in the river, but he remembered the monastery. Who can accumulate kusala? Although he's catching fish, right? His mind was always in the monastery. You can also imagine. So Pattanumodana is like this. Sometimes the real accumulator is not that much happy, but the one who can rejoice is happier. That kind of thing also can happen in the community. Okay, we have to move the next one. Dhamma savana, listening to Dhamma. Okay, here in this case also, we have many Dhamma talks in modern society. We can get many Dhamma talk in many social platforms. We can listen Dhamma talk in YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, also X, now TikTok, right? Now also Telegram also. People can share many Dhamma. Actually, not just listening. That means we have to understand the meaning. So this is the most important. So sometimes we listen, we don't remember, we don't practice, not that much meaningful. Then we have one sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, we call Avakuja Sutta. So there's a one simile. There are some meditators, they are like a pot facing down. Okay, yesterday we have a rain. We have rain here, right? So if we face the pot or vessel down, no water can go into it. Similarly, there are some Dhamma listeners. When they are listening to the Dhamma talk, they don't remember very beginning of Dhamma talk, the middle of Dhamma talk, the end of Dhamma talk. When they are listening, when they stand up and going to leave the Dhamma hall, they cannot remember anything. In their daily life, they cannot apply any Dhamma. This is a facing down. If you put any bazaar or any pots facing down, although we have very heavy rain, we cannot get any water. Second one is a simile do the lap. So when we are sitting, okay, now brother, you are sitting, cross leg, right? You can keep many property on your lap. So similarly, there are some meditators. When they are listening, they could remember the beginning, the middle, the end of Dhamma talk. Keep on the lap. When they stand up, all of them drop. Similarly, there are some Dhamma talker. They remember when sitting, when they stand up, they forgot everything. They cannot practice in their daily life. This is second type of Dhamma talker. Sorry, Dhamma listener, sorry. Then the last one, with great wisdom. He could remember the beginning, the middle, the end of Dhamma talk, when sitting. When standing up also could remember Dhamma talk. In their daily life also can practice. This is the best Dhamma listener. So sometimes we don't listen carefully, and we don't remember the Dhamma. That's when Dhamma Swanami, we just listening to the Dhamma respectfully, attentively. Also understanding the meaning. This is called Dhamma Savana. Now Dhamma Desana, teaching the Dhamma. You may have known teaching the Dhamma, right? Now in the modern community, it's a very risky to give Dhamma talk also. Right? I remember my life as a Dhamma teacher, a Dhamma talker. In the very beginning, many people complain about my Dhamma talk because I have using a lot of Pali. This big complaint. Why use a lot of Pali? We're going to understand. Okay, you can practice now and use many Pali around here also, right? This big complaint actually. It took me a few years for me. I have to endure. I have to be very patient. What people complain. Then later, they know the value of Pali. That means, if I use Pali, I have more confidence. I have a source reference from Pali. If I don't use Pali, I don't have confidence. I'm free in my mind like this. But anyway, then sometimes we may use many different formula, many different new information. We may add many our own experiences. And as long as it's useful for the listener, it doesn't matter. But if we are going to give Dhamma talk, it should be Dhamma. It must be Buddha's teaching. Okay, one more thing here. We give Dhamma talk expecting gain of faith. That's not right attitude, not right purpose. We have to give Dhamma talk to explain something new to the listeners or to confirm their own knowledge. That many people have known many suttas. So I may give the same topic, the same sutta. I have to confirm their knowledge. What they have learned is right. If something is totally new, so we have to upgrade their knowledge. Okay? This is the purpose of Dhamma talk. So, I don't know in Nepal, is there any price for Dhamma talk? One Dhamma talk, how much you have to pay for listening? You don't have this kind of price, right? But some countries they have. For example, they may do Dhamma event in the theater or maybe some public area. Then people have to, when they want to listen to Dhamma talk, they have to pay for Dhamma talk. This event in the theater, right? Sometimes they may make that kind of event in the stadium. Then you have to pay a fee. Listen to the Dhamma talk. So it becomes business. It's not Dhamma talk. Then we also have similar problem in Myanmar also. Some Dhamma talker, they have price. For example, if you cannot offer 100 lakhs, I will not give Dhamma talk. 100 is too much, right? They have this kind of requirement for Dhamma talk. That means ordinary Dhamma listener or maybe very poor village, very poor city, they cannot approach that kind of famous Dhamma talker. They're scared. Right? Okay, even I didn't charge money. Some small city, small town, they're scared of me. They are not inviting me to give Dhamma talk in Myanmar. It really happened. So they know many people have good earning when they get Dhamma talk. Right? They have that kind of knowledge. Another thing is now you also recording my Dhamma talk here, right? In Myanmar also we have the same. People will record my Dhamma talk. From the very beginning, I come and sit on the throne, on the chair. Until I leave the chair, they record. So at the end, they may announce how much receipt they offer to me. Right? Sometimes it will be big amount. Although I didn't take that receipts, but big amount. Then many people see my Dhamma talk, the one they get Dhamma talk in that city, he earned this amount of money. When you get Dhamma talk in this city, he got this amount of money. Our city is very small. We are not that rich. We cannot get that amount of money. So they're scared of inviting me. This really happened. But luckily, some of my Dhamma, not Dhamma friend, like a classmate, they know my lifestyle. then they encourage, okay, if you want to invite him, you can invite, it's okay. Although you're going to offer too much, it doesn't matter. Okay, this means Dhamma Desana. If we get Dhamma talk for earning, it's not Dhamma Desana, it's a business. When we get Dhamma talk, we must have good mind, good intention. We have to share our Dhamma knowledge with the listeners. This is the one thing. Or we have to confirm their knowledge. This is the one thing. Now we have to upgrade their knowledge. If they can understand deeper and deeper, it's better and better. Or sometimes they may have doubt about the Sambhara Dhamma. If we can clarify, it will be useful for their life, for their practice. So this is a Dhamma Desana. Okay, if we say briefly, Dhamma Desana means it's not for earning, not for gain, not for fame, not for popularity. When we have good intention, good mind, this is really called Dhamma Desana. Okay, now modern community is easier, right? We can also make AI to speak, right? If I'm lazy to speak, I can type and also ask AI to speak, right? Make video, then share. Okay, finish, easy. But in this kind of case, although we don't get Dhamma talk, but we make effort AI to speak, right? As long as we give right information, good information to the listeners, okay, this is also okay. Okay, now we have the last one, Ditti to Kamma, correcting one's view. Then we have to correct our view. When we have wrong view, we have to change. So this is called 10 Meritorious bases. When we are going to do these 10, or at the time of doing this 10, there will be one of the 8 wholesome consciousnesses. Then similarly for Arahats, when they are doing one of these 10, there will be functional consciousnesses. So they are called 10 Meritorious bases. If we analyze, it will be more than that also, right? So for our Ditti to Kamma, this is a very clear. I have already talked about wrong view in the past when we talk about Agusala Citta. Okay, now we have to talk about causes for wholesome states. This is also important. What are the causes for wholesome states? Okay, now the first one, Niyamita, noting that only wholesome deeds should be done. Okay, now, here I should elaborate a few more things about Kusala and Agusala. How can we understand Kusala? What is the meaning of Kusala? Mostly we just translate as a wholesome deed. Similarly, Agusala, what's really called Agusala? Mostly we just translate as unwholesome. Now here we have a definition. Under the name of Kusala, we have to understand 2 different things. The first one is Anavaja, blameless. What does it mean, blameless? After doing something wrong, we blame ourselves. We feel guilty. We regret. So that means if we don't need to regret, or if we don't need to feel guilty, then whenever we remember, if we can rejoice, of course, this is a blameless. This is the first part. Now this is a blame by people. Blame by good people. So this means not all the blame are correct. We have different point of view, different understanding, different aim. That's why we have different complaint. So when good people complain, we have to be careful. When wise people, noble people complain, we have to be very careful. If blame by good people and wise people, this is the agusala. If blameless, nobody blame. If they praise, oh, this is the right thing, good thing to do, this is blameless. Another thing is fair or not, law. We have to follow the law. So if we don't follow the law, we will be punished. This is also not good reputation for us. So these are called blameless. It must be according to the law. This is the one thing. No wise people complain. This is the one thing. We don't blame ourselves. One thing. These are called blameless. Okay. Second Pali word is sukha vipaka, resulting in happiness or pleasant. So that means it will bring happiness for everybody. Some of the happiness are just for ourselves, not for other people, not for other living beings. So if happiness for everybody, now you have already known this English word, win-win theory. Right? Win-win. It should be. This is the kusala. So we can also understand the opposite. That is agusala. Savaja, blameable. Dukkha vipaka, resulting in suffering or some displeasure or unpleasant. This is called agusala. So in our minds, we keep knowing or we keep noting the same thing. Okay, only wholesome should be done. We bear in our mind. We keep it in our mind. That's called niyamita. So that means we can do whatever thing we like. This is not a good mindset. Right? So the main thing is niyamita. The next one, parinamita. Having mind inclined towards wholesome action. So that means our mind mostly inclined to do something good. Actually, mind is very easy to incline to do many things bad. Very easy. But to incline to do good, not that easy. So that means you may have seen many trees bending to different direction, right? Okay, now here on the slope, we have many trees. Right? If we cut tree, then where is the weighty part? For example, most of the weight of the tree is downhill. The tree will fall downhill, right? If most of the weight are uphill, if we cut, it will fall uphill. It depends on where is the weight of the tree. Similarly, it depends on how we make our mind weighty. If most of the time we have wholesome minds, this is the weight. Our mind will incline to wholesome. Most of the time when we have unwholesome minds, sure, it will incline to unwholesome. So when we have wholesome, when our mind inclined towards wholesome actions, wholesome speech, wholesome thoughts, they can be the conditions or the cause of wholesome state. Another thing is the interest, actually, right? Although we say inclination, if we are interested in it, our mind will incline. It's not interesting, not incline. So what's the most interesting thing in our life? Maybe we have different interests, right? Okay, this is the conditions for wholesome state. If you're interested in wholesome, our mind will incline to it. Okay, now practically, when your mind inclined to meditation, if you're interested in meditation, you are willing to do. You know the benefit. Sometimes our minds are not that simple, not that easy to incline to meditation. We don't have good result. If we are interested in meditation, inclined to meditation, it's getting better. And on the next one, samudachara, regular practice. We have to make habit. Okay, practically, if you regularly do some chanting every day, if you have to skip, if you forgot one day, you may feel something missing in your mind. Right? For example, if you meditate regularly, if you cannot meditate one day, you may feel something missing in your mind. Lack of something. You lost something. You feel you lost something, right? That kind of thing can happen. So if we have regular practice, if we can habit, after a long time habit, right, then our mind will be more steady, more stability. So this is also important. We need regular practice. We also need habitual practice. Okay, now the last one, avujita. Being endowed with the four huis and the right intention. Right intention, yoniso manasikara. So I have to explain four hui again. Okay, now we have to talk about what's attention, yoniso manasikara. Yoniso manasikara means we just think about effective way. How effective? Effectively, right? So that means if we do this kind of thing, it will be beneficial. So we change our mind. For example, when seeing dead body, it's not desirable. But if we have habit of practicing asubha meditation, easy. Then similarly, there are many undesirable objects. We just change our mindset. Something undesirable. For example, when somebody is making noise when you are meditating, it's the time to fulfill Kandi Parami, right? It's testing how strong you are. How strong you are Kandi Parami. It's the time to fulfill Parami. So that means all the difficult conditions creates Parami, if we are wise. If we are wise, all the difficult conditions will make agusala also, right? Okay, this is it, abhujita. How is our inclination, how is our intention, how we change our minds, how is our attitude. Okay, now the last part, we should talk about four wheel. This is according to Anguttara Nikaya. There are four wheels. So in your car, you may have four wheels, right? So now when you climb mountain, four-wheel drive will be stronger. Because you have to come very far, right? Okay. When we have these four wheels, we can achieve many things. It can be worldly gain, it also can be meditation achievement. The first one, Patirupa Desawasa, living in suitable place or suitable locality. What does it mean, suitable locality or suitable living place? Okay, there are some places you cannot do kusala. The environment is not doing kusala. If you don't follow them, it's also risky. this is not suitable place for you. So although you want to work for community, some of the community, they don't allow. Okay, I will not say that the name of the country, right? Then one country, they have very bad culture. Although they saw a people fainted and fall down on the way, they are not allowed to help. You cannot help them. So if you find a thief, you cannot beat them. Although you can catch a thief stealing something, right? You cannot beat them. They have that kind of rule. Right? Okay, the main thing is, although we want to do for the welfare of community, for the welfare of somebody, some area, some country, they are not allowed. You're going to do like this. This is not Pratitupatti Savasa. Right? Okay, not only that, when we say Pratitupatti Savasa, then whatever thing you see, if you can do kusala, sure, this is a good place to live. Whatever thing you hear, you can accumulate kusala, sure, this is a good place to live. Then whoever you meet, then they can support your kusala. This is a good place. So whatever compensation you make, you can accumulate kusala. This is a good place. Then you can serve something for the people. They can also support you doing something good. This is a good place. We call Pratitupatti Savasa, suitable place. Traditionally, we have one requirement for suitable place or suitable routine, we can say, right? That means we can say right to routine every day. The first one is kusala. If you can accumulate kusala in one day, that day is a meaningful day. Okay, another thing, if you can earn righteously, if you can earn something, if you can gain something righteously, right? This is also valuable day, meaningful day. If you can learn something new, you can get new knowledge, then this is meaningful day. Another thing is a power or position. You may have got some spiritual power or maybe some mental power or some position righteously, properly, that day is a meaningful day. If we cannot get one of these four, that is meaningless. Of course, we cannot do kusala everywhere. Right? Similarly, you cannot earn everywhere also. There are many countries good for earning, good for learning, but not good for meditation, not good for doing kusala. So we cannot do all the thing, right? Another thing is health. If you can improve your health, that is a meaningful day. Now we must be healthy, right? To do for our own welfare, for the welfare of our community. So these are the conditions of meaningful day. If one other place can give all these five for you, of course, every day you will be meaningful. If you can get two of them, okay, meaningful. Three of them, okay, meaningful. Two of them are meaningful. One of them also meaningful. Right? If you can get all the five, the best place. You should live whole life. This is called Pratitupatti Savasa. So sometimes we are just looking for Pratitupatti Savasa. We forgot to create Pradipati Savasa. If we are influential in the community, we can create. We can do this kind of society, this kind of community by ourselves. So that means it depends on our condition also. If we are not that much influential, we have to find the place, suitable place for us. When we are strong enough, okay, just create suitable place for everybody. This will be meaningful life, meaningful place. Another one, Sapuri Subanisaya, associating with good people, noble people. So we also have known, when we have opportunity to live in good community, we have a more possibility to improve, more opportunity to improve ourselves. So here, association, it doesn't mean we just associate verbally or talking each other or just sharing property. Not only that kind of association. We must associate wholeheartedly. For example, if good people, they may have moral value. We must be able to emulate how they live, how they survive, maintaining their moral value. If they have very strong confidence, we have to learn how they have this kind of confidence. If they are so generous, we have to learn how they become that kind of generous, that kind of person. Similarly, if they are knowledgeable, we have to know how he become knowledgeable. So although we associate with good people, if we don't upgrade our value, meaningless. Then you may have read many sutta, many Dhammavada stories also. One of the Dhammavada stanza recommended by the Buddha. If you cannot find something equal or superior to you, don't associate with that kind of people. This Buddha recommendation. If somebody is equal to us, of course, we can share. If somebody is higher to us, we can learn from them. Okay, here one contradict. Buddha also say, don't associate with inferior one. If we find superior one, they may not associate with us. Right? Buddha recommended, don't associate with inferior one. Right? How it happened? In this case, if somebody is willing to change, willing to learn, superior one must associate with inferior one. This is the main concept in this sutta, in that stanza. So although they are inferior, then they think they are better, superior, not flexible, unwilling to change, unwilling to learn, meaningless. Moreover, they will make our moral value decline. So that is why if we are unwilling to be good person will never associate with us. Actually, there are many communities like this. Okay. In your present, there's a 2% in this community. Both of them are from Myanmar. Everybody know Bhante Atthadassī, right? Sayalay Khemā. Another than the Bhante Boga, right? Boga. You know, right? Bhante Boga, right? Okay. You will know this too. Okay, Bhante Atthadassī was ordained. He's a senior to me. Okay, just put him aside. We just talk about Bhante Boga. You know him, right? Actually, when he was a lay person, he worked in Malaysia. Bhante is working in Malaysia. I haven't met him in Malaysia. First I met him in Malaysia also. Okay, I should say, how is his community in Malaysia? His community, I just say Bhante community, right? Where he's working. His working community, working area, working team. All the members take precepts. Another thing, after walking, they do chanting. In group, they do chanting, evening chant. Very long chanting. This is the one thing, right? Another thing is that when they walk wholeheartedly. That is when their boss favor them more. This is what I have seen in Malaysia. Okay, there were one cases. There was some black sheep came to their community. For example, smoker, drinker, come to their community. Nobody support them. They cannot live a very long time, they have to leave. Nobody chase them out, they themselves leave, normally, naturally. This is the power of community. If all the community are doing good, doing well, that person cannot enter that community. They have equal value. Then some of them will be higher value. They support each other. Okay, the main thing is, Sabuddhism doesn't mean only just associating. It also means how we emulate, what we emulate, whom we emulate. This is the most important. Okay, now the next one. Atthasamapaniti, proper self-direction. We can also say self-discipline. Okay, here under the name of self-discipline, there are many self-discipline. It depends on how you want to establish your life, how you want to develop your life. For example, we also have moral discipline. Some of the discipline are just for morality. Right? So we have to preserve many precepts, we have to follow many rules and regulations, we have to fulfill many duties. These are self-discipline. We can say morality. Okay, there are some conditions to upgrade our value. We have to be disciplined. For example, I don't know how you learn. When I was learning, I have to discipline myself. It's not laid down by the monastery. So I make deadline of my learning. For example, before Vasa, I must finish this kind of. I have to do it to finish before the Vasa. In the Vasa, I have to have one more deadline. Okay, within Vasa, I must finish this subject. Just for learning. After Vasa, I have to make another deadline. Okay, within this time, I must repetition, revision, right? I have to repeat many times, the same subject many times. So I will try for 7 times, for example. I am set goal. I must finish 7 times within this period. 7 rounds of learning the same subject. This is how I passed my life in the Bali school. Okay, this is a discipline. Okay, similarly, if you want to improve your confidence, you have to set rule for yourself. How to upgrade your confidence. Similarly, if you want to upgrade your knowledge, you must set the rule. Within 1 month, I must read this number of books. You might choose the books, read, learn. Right? If you are learning in the online also, okay, choose. The main thing is, in the case of self-discipline, the first one is for moral value. Second one is to upgrade our value. It can be knowledge, confidence, generosity, or many other requirements. This is called Adhasamappaniti. For example, we are so stingy, we don't want to change. Okay, we can keep our life with stinginess. If we were to change, of course, we must make rule and regulation, self-discipline to change our life. If we are immoral, if we don't want to change, okay, let it be. If we want to change, we must be disciplined. Similarly, confidence. Now, practically concentration now. You are practicing. This is also discipline. You have to make your mind disciplined. Mind must be first one object. Don't go anywhere. Discipline your mind. So this is called Adhasamappaniti. It's just for our own welfare. It also can be for the welfare of community. Okay, now the last one. Puvijakata Punyata, having done meritorious deeds in the past lives. Those of them, if we have good bharami in the past, we can do well, right? Then, actually, we don't need to talk about past karma all the time also. Right? Then, in this retreat, luckily, nobody talk about bharami. Luckily, right? Because since I started, I have already talked about it. Right? Do you remember my simile? I give one simile. Not simile like prodigal wilderness, right? If you think, I don't have enough bharami to attain jhana, I don't have enough bharami to see nimitta, trying to reflect, how many classmates do you have since carrying to the university? How many of them meditate? Can you recall? How many classmates you have? Now in junior, have many classmates. You alone meditate here. Right? You have many classmates, many friends in the school. You alone here meditate. Without bharami, mind will not inclined to meditate. Right? Another thing, who forced you to meditate? Nobody forced you. Your mind just inclined to meditate. Just can't meditate. Why your mind inclined to meditate? There are many enjoyments in the life. Everywhere you can enjoy. Let alone other enjoyments. Right? In Nepal, you can go around the city. No, not the city. Go around the mountain. You can see good scenery everywhere. Right? Very easy to enjoy in the life. Let alone many other sensual pleasure, right? Only mountain is beautiful enough. So that means why the mind inclined to meditate? Without bharami, impossible. Pubijakata punyata, that means you have accumulated many whole sanctity in the past. So that's why you have inclination to meditate. Okay, these are 4 wheels. When we have these 4 wheels, we can accumulate kusala. They are also cause of kusala. Not only that, when we have all these 4 conditions, we can be famous, although we don't expect, although we are not working for it. Fame, gain, then all the good reputation, all the good conditions can come. So we need all four-wheel, right? If you have four-wheel drive, you can climb mountain smoothly. If you have two-wheel also, okay, good enough. You can climb up mountain by motorbike, right? Maybe Nepali may be very smart when riding motorbike, climbing mountain. The Vietnamese will be very smart in riding motorbike in the city, right? Because many Vietnamese use motorbike when they go around the city, right? Anyway, if you cannot get four-wheel, try to have two-wheel at least to climb mountain. That means to climb mountain or Dhamma, right? Okay, I will stop here. So today we just finished something about Kamavachara Chitta. So when we have all these conditions, we have Kusala Chitta, Kusala, 8 types of Kusala minds, wholesome consciousnesses. That is why we must establish all these things. Okay? So maybe next topic will be about Jhana Dhamma, Jhana consciousnesses. I will stop here. May you all be able to practice 3 trainings, and may you all be able to realize final cessation and not suffering.
Sarah, there is a question on Zoom. Venerable Sarah, if we are concerned about a monk's conduct, what is the most skillful approach? Do we, as lay supporters, have the responsibility to remind him, or is his meant to be corrected only by other monks? Where in the Patimokkha or Khanda can we find such advices, so that we as lay supporters can seek guidance and approach the situation more skillfully?
Actually, in this case, we cannot know somebody's personality too much. Okay? One more thing, there are some people, they are flexible. You can advise, they were savage. There's some people, they are not that flexible, more arrogant, more stubborn. Right? If they are proud of their knowledge and their lifestyles, you cannot suggest anything, right? It depends on personality. Who you meet, how's his condition, then you have to practice well. Don't expect too much also, right? Don't expect too much means, even I cannot change my classmates, although we are very close. They also know Vinaya, they are well educated, well learned in Pali school, right? Some other case, they know, but they don't change. Okay? Okay?
Dạ thưa Sayadaw, khi con nhớ lại cái cảnh mà người ta chia tay ạ, mà tâm con khởi lên cái tâm cũng buồn như người phải ra đi ạ, thì khi con khởi lên cái tâm như vậy thì nó là cái tâm bất thiện đúng không ạ? Cảnh chia tay giống như của ngài Kumara với lại ngài Pao hôm qua.
So now he asks, when he see people saying farewell each other, he also feels sad in his mind. So is it an unwholesome state?
Okay, so that means sometimes you don't want to lose something. right? Yeah, this is the one condition. Another thing is that because of joy also possible. And tear, because when you feel sad, this is agusala, sure, right? This is not good mind. This is also emotion. And sometimes, like you, for example, like you may have good friends who have you a lot. When you say goodbye, you feel sad. This is because of because of friendship, right? You feel sad. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing is, like for example, somebody is very virtuous, right? Although he didn't teach you anything, he does not teach you anything, but you can emulate many of his lifestyle. And when you say goodbye, right, then you also feel sorry or sad. In this kind of case, it's not because of friendship. It's valuable for you. You feel you lost something, right? Of course, when you feel sadness, this is unwholesome. That means not good thing to have, right? Sadness is not good, not pleasant things. But anyway, if something related to wholesome is worthy. If something related to unwholesome is not worthy. You have to check, okay? Okay.
Dạ thưa Sayadaw, thì con xem lại cái bài giảng của thầy ở trên ngày hôm qua, thì trong 8 cái tâm thiện thì không có cái tâm nào thọ yêu ấy, thì cái tâm buồn như vậy thì có phải là
So he checked in the 8 kusala chitta. Yesterday I thought there is no chitta that include the unpleasant feeling. Only upekha and somanasa feeling. So that means unpleasant feeling like sadness is akusala, is sure?
Sure, akusala, sure. Unpleasant feeling or distracts or sadness, these are under the name of dosa. Right? Like anxiety, worry, sorrow, sadness, grief, lamentation, fear, distress, all the things are under the name of dosa.
Dạ, con xin hỏi, khi chư tăng đến nhà con hỏi về vấn đề chia phước. Dạ, khi chư tăng đến nhà, con thấy có vị đọc cả bài chia phước, thì lúc đó con cảm nhận là các vị đang chia phước. Còn cũng có vị khi chia phước chỉ nhắm mắt lại rồi kết thúc. Con nghĩ là phước tại tâm, nhưng mà hay là các vị đọc á, các vị đọc lên thì con sẽ cảm nhận được cái sự chia phước cho mình. Còn khi các vị nhắm mắt hay là các vị nhắm mắt thì có cái năng lực nào đó con không biết được. Như vậy thì cái cách nào sẽ tốt hơn thưa sư? Thưa ngài.
Sayadaw, she asked when the sangha come to her house and after some donation, sangha also share the merit. Some sangha chant loudly and she could feel the sharing merit. But some sangha just close the eye and keep silent. She understood that they also sharing the merit. So she would like to ask, maybe by closing the eye and share merit mentally, there is some power. So she would like to ask, which way is better?
Okay, so if we share merit, then in order to hear, right, we should probably share. Is better, right? Another thing is whether people share or not. If you can rejoice other people's good action, good speech, good livelihood, this is also possible. Because when we share merit, traditionally in Myanmar, we just speak out. Bhavali we share. So whoever can hear our merit, may they be able to rejoice. We have this kind of intention. Right? So, I'm not sure Vietnamese can hear Myanmar song or not, right? They share merit in Myanmar language in Vietnam. Or they share merit in English in Vietnam. If Vietnamese they cannot understand Myanmar or Pali or English, they cannot rejoice also, right? Okay. Oh, no, many questions.
Vandami Sayadaw. Sayadaw, this question regarding to the Appachayana, especially in India, sometime big festival celebrated every year. So at that time, people invited us. So willingly we can't participate in that event. And that time we can't pay homage to the gods. So what to do at that time? How we can avoid?
Not quite clear. Huh? Can you repeat? In India?
So as I understood, there are many festivals of Hinduism.
I know.
So invite Buddhists. At that time, Buddhists cannot pay respect to the God, some worship to the God. So how to do?
Okay. In this case, although you don't join, it doesn't matter, right? Although you don't join that kind of event, it's okay, right?
Not join.
Okay. This is actually everywhere like this. Many events, right? This is just festival to enjoy life, right? Not for many other improvements. Now also do the same. We have many festivals. Maybe similar to Newari, maybe Myanmar also. 12 months, 12 festivals in Myanmar. Right? Newari also the same, right? Even more? Okay. You can imagine 12 months, 12 festival. Right? So this is it, like this. Most of the festivals are just for show, just gathering like this. Not that much effort for spiritual value or other things. That's why when some of my students want to join that kind of festival, I say no. Right? Even going to Korean rock tattoo, for example, right? I don't recommend to go. If my disciple want to go, if they have never been there, okay, you may go one time. If they have been there second time, I don't recommend to go. Very crowded. When you are chanting something, you cannot focus on your chanting because of very noisy. Right? Similarly, in Mandalay, now collapsed the area, like Mamuni, one of the statue, right? Very famous one. Very crowded. Everybody is chanting something, very noisy, we cannot chant. India the same. Bugaya, Mahabodhi temple, very noisy, very busy, don't plan to meditate. Right? People say, very good energy, I want to meditate there. I don't agree. Very energetic. Of course, it will be energetic because this is where Buddha's got enlightened, right? But for meditation, I don't recommend. Very noisy. Okay, this is the condition, right? Okay, festival. Most of the festivals are just for gathering, having fun. No more than that. Okay, now?
Vandami Sayadaw. Sayadaw, can you hear me?
Can I hear you?
Yes, Sayadaw. if he's very particular about the way people looking at her and the way people evaluate her, how to change these habits. He care a lot on how people look at him or how people talk about him. How to change this behavior?
Not quite clear, right?
The question is, he care a lot on how people look at him or how people talk about him.
Okay. So I mean, how people talk about, right? Or how
Yes.
he care of, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing, right? In this case, I don't know what kind of thing you care also. What kind of people command you also, right? Anyway, the main thing is, in this kind of case, when people say something about you, something bad about you, for example, right? In this case, you have to check. Is something you have to improve, or just criticizing unnecessarily? Right? If they are talking about, they have something bad about talking something bad about you, because you need something to improve. Okay, in this case, improve. If you have already changed or improved, don't think about it. Right? It's not useful. It depends on who complain, who talk about it. This is the one thing, right? What about like improvement? Of course, we are not perfect. We have to improve everything. That means the more quality you have, the better future you have. That means if you have many good quality, you can fulfill more parami. Okay? Okay, now another question.
Yes, Sayadaw. Those 10 you just taught us, is it the same as Punya Kiriyawatu?
Punya Kiriyawatu?
Is it the same like this?
Yeah, Punya Kiriyawatu, sure.
Oh, okay.
Punya Kiriyawatu.
And another question, unrelated to today's topic, is it okay?
Okay.
Regarding the Nikayas in
Nikaya.
like the ordination lineages, is it considered as a splitting of the Sangha, or is it okay?
Okay. Nikaya means, for example, in Thailand, they have different Nikaya also, right?
Mahanikaya and...
Okay, I know. In Sangha, they have different Nikaya, okay? In this kind of case, what kind of condition they have, it can be different. We're going to say schism also for some reason, right? For example, one group didn't follow Vinaya. Then, okay, for example, okay, we should say, you are ordained in one Nikaya, but they don't follow Vinaya. Right? You need to follow Vinaya. If they live together with them, sure, you're not easy. You may find some friend with the same mind. Right? So then they also want to follow Vinaya. You also learn together. After that, you separate from previous group. In this kind of case, we cannot say schism or Sanghaveda. Because the previous group is not very good. You just change to good quality, value of your life. In this kind of case, is acceptable, allowable. Okay?
There are some questions in the Zoom.
Okay.
So first,
Sayadaw, if the parents, our parents will pass away in future, but according to her spiritual level now, she will feel sad when the parents pass away. So how to train her mind from now on, so that when the parents pass away in future, he will not be sad?
Actually, it depends on how is it your duties, how you fulfill your duty, right? As a children, you have children duty. If you can fulfill your children duty to your parents, is it good enough? Okay, one more thing, if you can pay back your parents' gratitude for some improvement, for example, they are immoral, you can support them to be moral. It doesn't mean you have to force them to be moral, right? You can support them to be moral. For example, if you do something wrong, okay, I should say one example. I have 3 younger brothers, all married. Okay, one of them my sister-in-law, Then she said, okay, but her father and her mother are not that good. Not that good means her father is a drunkard, alcoholist. Then I recommended her, okay, can you afford money? Can you get some money to give your parents to do something good? She said yes. Okay, you should make a little bit challenge to put your parents. For example, if you can undertake 5 research one day, I will get this amount of money. Right? Actually, she can also earn money. Actually, that's why I talk to her like this. Then she said yes, but when she try, fail. Right? Her parents are unwilling to do, that she could not do anything. Because the main thing is that you must find a way to support your parents, to be moral, to be more generous, to have stronger faith, to be more knowledgeable. In this kind of case, it's okay. For example, they are only do undertake precepts. Okay? Another challenge. If you can read this book, I will give this amount of money, for example. Right? You give some Dhamma Talk book. After that, you may ask whether he or she really read or not. How many part of books do you remember? What are they, for example? That kind of challenge, right? I just give example. It doesn't mean you have to do like this. Sometimes parents are not that easy. I have already talked to many people, right? Even I'm going to teach my parents. If I have to teach my parents, I have to find my student. My student teach my parents, I cannot teach. Because they are parents. Right? In this kind of case, you have to find the way to teach your parents. Or to make your parents stronger, or to have stronger faith, or stronger moral value. Then, if you are dutiful, if you have already performed that kind of duties, trying to be happy. Your duty is over. Okay, soon.
Can anyone favor rich student and reject poor students?
Okay, Eva?
Can any bhikkhu, maybe referring to bhikkhus, favor rich students and poor, do not favor poor students?
Okay, Agadi. That kind of is very, very bad. Right? Very, very bad. Okay? Actually, we can say 4 types of partiality. 4 types of round course, 4 types of partiality, right? Chanda, because of love, we favor more. This is also wrongdoing. Hate, because of hate, we favor or we don't favor. This is also one thing, right? Another thing, because of fear, we favor more or we don't favor, for example, right? This is also wrongdoing. Another thing is, the last one is that because of delusion or illusion, we do favor somebody, we don't favor somebody. This is also wrongdoing. So, actually, many cases similar to that kind of question, especially for bhikkhu, right? For example, poor donors and rich donor. If we favor rich donor more, this is also unfair, right? So we must treat equally. Because different lifetimes, sometimes, okay, we cannot favor poor people. This is an exception. Their lifestyle is different from us. We're gonna support, we're gonna fulfill their wish, for example. This is one thing, right? So as long as it's something possible, if we don't fulfill, this is a bad habit or partiality, right? When we have this kind of doing, this kind of partiality, the Buddha also said, your reputation will decline like a dark moon day. So after full moon day, you may know after full moon day, the moon becomes smaller and smaller. Right? Finally, whole night no more moon. Now, if you have done partiality like this, you may encounter that kind of situation. Your reputation will become weaker and weaker, more bad reputation, less good reputation. Gradually, you may disappear from the community. Okay?
Sayadaw, related to this question, there are also a case because maybe that bhikkhu is so afraid of being unfair to the like poor people, so he treat the main donor of his monastery like equally, and he speak out like no exception. For example, he show not gratitude to anything to the donation or the effort that they make to him. So they feel like they have done nothing and they have no favor to practice anything in that monastery, as if everyone else, every stranger, so they feel hurt. So is it also good in this case?
Actually, in this kind of case, we have to be a little bit careful, right? Okay. We have special people, a special condition. Okay, I should say what we do in Paudoya, right? We have, okay, one more, I should go Buddha teaching first, right? Pukala we say so. What we say so mean? Special people. They should have special favor. That's what the Buddha said, right? Okay, well, how we do in Paudoya? Now, we close our monastery. We don't accept any new meditator. Bhikkhu or Sayalay or any lay person or lay woman, we don't accept. It will be equal to everybody, or the monastery donor or anybody, right? Okay, there will be some conditions for the bhikkhu. For the bhikkhu means, if bhikkhu is well educated, like a Pali teacher, or although he's not teaching Pali, he has already passed Dhammacharya or something equivalent to Dhammacharya, such as Langara or Piwansa or something, right? That kind of things. So if they come to meditate in the center, we still accept. It's an exception. Okay, now, recently, we have another exception. Another exception means earthquake in all over the Myanmar, no, especially around Mandalay and the Sakang region. So majority of bhikkhu are learning in Mandalay. The biggest number of bhikkhu are learning in Mandalay. So after earthquake, all the school have to close. Also, they also have to stop their examination. Then they have to leave their own village. Then we have favor for that kind of bhikkhu. Okay, if you are from that area, you can kind of meditate in our center. Although we close for all other bhikkhu. Right? Okay, this is what we do in the monastery. Okay, there was some condition for regular devotees in power. Okay? That is, there are some volunteer. They come to monastery almost every day. So in the Uposatha day, they want to take precept, they want to spend overnight in the monastery. We have to allow them. Although we close for all other meditators, because they are helpful for the monastery. Okay? So in this kind of case, we're going to say partiality. This is special people. Okay?
Sayadaw, how to handle teenagers who has difficulty to communicate with, how to deal with them wisely. So if they don't listen to your teaching, shall we just let it be because we want to observe our precept and try to be quiet? We just let it be without handling them.
Actually, teenagers are very difficult to train. Right? I also have teenager niece and nephew. Very difficult to train. Okay, one more thing, right? Now in modern community, you can also learn many things about how to train teenager. Even we have many books. From kindergarten to the teenage boy, right? The teenage boy and teenage girl. I don't remember how many books I have read. Anyway, in this kind of case, I don't know the situation, that's why I cannot suggest everything clearly. So that means not listen to teaching. Okay, in this case, what kind of teaching it is? For example, moral value. We are going to talk about moral value. In this kind of case, instead of talking about morality or something, you should use a little bit simple usage, right? So that means, okay, you have to acquire your value. Then just talk about pros and cons. You must give practical example in the community. If you do teaching confidence, for example, you must also show the pros and cons. What kind of confidence that he needs, for example, in the learning, because he's not that smart, not that bright. That's why he cannot learn very well. He lost confidence, for example, right? In this case, you must find the way. You must discover the teacher or somebody close to him. So sometimes, okay, one more thing you have to consider. Most of the teenage boy or teenage girl, they will not talk to their parents too much. They will talk to their friends more. This is whether you accept or not, it must be. That means you are willing or not, you must accept it, right? So that means you might have good association with his friends. So their mindset start changing. So when they are very little boy and very little girl, they will talk to you everything, right? When they grow a little bit older, or teenage boy, when they have to discuss something, they will talk to their friends first. After that, they will come to you. In this kind of case, okay, I should say, you might associate with his friends or her friends. And then you might also find the way how to, what kind of thing you want to teach, the how to teach. You cannot force him, sure. If you force, then he will do many bad things to you. Okay, now?
Dạ, bạch ngài, con có một cái ví dụ. Ví dụ trong một cái sự kiện đó là cúng dường cho 50 vị tỳ kheo, thì có vị cư sĩ đó mới chuẩn bị 50 cái viên cúng dường cho đến 50 vị tỳ kheo, thì cái vị cư sĩ đó chuẩn bị 50 viên kẹo với cái tác ý là cúng dường đặt bát cho 50 vị tỳ kheo. Nhưng mà hôm đó chỉ có 48 vị, và cái vị cư sĩ này mới là cho bạn mình một viên kẹo và mình sử dụng một viên kẹo đó. Vậy cho con hỏi là cái vị cư sĩ đó có bị bất thiện nghiệp nào hay không?
So he asked about donation. A lay devotee, he prepared 50 candies to offer to 50 bhikkhu. So after he prepared, there are only 48 bhikkhu, so remain 2 candy. So he eat 1 candy and he gave to his friend 1 candy. So is it akusala?
Okay, right? There will be some conditions in this case. So we have a bhavali and a bodily incline. For example, you promise 1 bhikkhu I will offer for 50 bhikkhus. Right? You promise bhavali, or you may have written a letter to him or send message bodily. So if you have already said something verbally or bodily, you must do it. So that means before you are doing something, don't talk too much. Right? That means don't make any agreement for safety. Right? So there is some conditions, but you have also planned to offer for 50 vehicles, but they are immoral. Then later you change your mind. You just offer to moral bhikkhu. Okay, in this kind of case, it's also not that good, but also we can say this is allowable. We break our promise. It's not really very good, right? Another thing is, if you offer also, you're going to be happy. You just waste your money for useless people. So in this kind of case, we can say allowable. Okay? So in this kind of case, I should say, how is your promise? If you have promised, do it. Okay? If you haven't promised yet, okay, you can change.
So now in Zoom there is question. When we do the kusala things, so we should share merit, but the teacher also said only one kind of beta can receive that merit share, and the deva and other beings like animals could not receive it. So what should we understand this properly?
Okay. Okay, another thing is like animals, they cannot understand human voice, human words, then they cannot rejoice. Okay, we can say like that, right? Okay, there will be some conditions. Some animal, they can understand human words. Even they can speak human language, right? Then in this kind of case, possible. Okay, we just say, when we say Deva cannot rejoice, animal cannot rejoice, heaven cannot rejoice, this is general. If we analyze, there can be many other possibilities. Okay? It depends on where they were born also. Okay? For divine beings, of course, if they were born in the higher Deva realms, they are not around us, they cannot hear, they cannot rejoice. There are many other Devas around us, such for example, tree Devas, ground Devas, Agasa Devas. Right? Then they can rejoice. They will hear, they can rejoice. So, okay, it depends on what kind of Deva they are. This is one thing, right? For high being, it's very clear, they cannot rejoice, very far from us. Okay, of course, as we have understood, only one type of beta, Paratatuba Jivika beta, right? That they could rejoice in our merit. This is also, okay, what I say. Okay, we cannot know where our relative we are born also. In case if they were born as that kind of beta, we just share merit. So if they have been born as a human being, is the mother one already cannot hear anything anymore. If they were born as an animal, it depends on how is their life. For example, if they have to be born as a bird, then it will be in the egg. Cannot hear anything, right? So for after a few years, maybe they will hear possible, right? It depends on what kind of life they have. Okay. There's also some conditions, some conversation with the Buddha. The Creator one come from one conversation with one Brahmin. Then people share merit with their relatives. Can they catch? The Buddha says some can, some cannot. Okay, as we have understood now, for example, if they are born as a Pradatuba Jivika Beta, they can rejoice. For other, it's impossible, for example, right? That kind of, then Buddha talk to him. If our relatives are not that kind of beta, what will be? There are many betas waiting for our merit. they are our relatives in many, many other past lives. They can rejoice. Then the Brahmin keep asking more. If we don't have that kind of relatives, waiting for our merit, that means, although in the samsara, many, many relatives we have right now, no relatives like this, how will it be? Then the Buddha also said there, okay, you may give some present to some of your friends. If they didn't accept it, whose belonging it is? Then the Brahmin replied, it belongs to me if he didn't accept. Okay, similarly, if nobody can receive your share and merit, it belongs to you. But Buddha also said, it's impossible. There's no relatives of the past lives waiting for our merit. Well, samsara is very long. And there are many, many beta. They are also our relatives in the past. They are also waiting for share merit. Okay? So it will be beneficial for them. Okay? Okay? Hmm. Huh? We don't have that kind of statement. One? Okay. Yeah. What happened? Huh? Oh.
Oh, okay. So I heard that when we share the merit, they will not get all the merit. They will get, let's say I did some kusala and I share it, and they will get 1/7 from that kusala, that 1/7 part of that kusala. I don't know if it's coming from Mahayana, okay, but I heard it, so I want to check if it's also like.
No, this is impossible, right?
So
okay.
How much will they get? Will they get the whole thing?
Okay, one more thing. I have already talked about this one. Padanumorana. Padanumorana. Right? Okay. Actually, Dona is not that happy. We're not here practically. Okay? I'm given Dhamma Talk. But my mind is not that good. I feel a bit bad mind, right? Okay, I should say easier way. You don't offer anything. I have to give Dhamma Talk. Then I'm not happy, okay? Then you listen Dhamma Talk, you are happier than Dhamma Talker. Oh, he can give that kind of Dhamma Talk, right? Without anything in my mind, I'm expecting cake. Because you can rejoice more than Dhamma Talker, right? That means you can get more profit. Similarly, there are many, many cases. Sometimes real donor is not that happy, but the one who see happier, that he can get more than real donor. Similarly, precepts. Real undertaker is not that happy, but the one who see, who hear is happier. They can get better merit, stronger merit. Of course, it will be different conditions. If we do dana, we have a dana parami, right? We can say we also doing, like we have dana kusala, okay? When we rejoice, this is a rejoicing kusala, different part. If we undertake precept, we have sila kusala. But if we rejoice, this is a rejoicing kusala, different part. Okay? So that means we cannot say how much they get. It depends on how much happy they are. Okay?
Okay, one more question, Sayadaw. Why can't we share metta with our dead relatives?
Actually, we cannot say share metta, radiating metta, right? One more thing. Radiating metta will take living being as object. For example, sabbe satta, all living beings, it must be living. not death.
But for example, I have dead grandmother.
Okay.
I want to share with her. So, but she already reincarnated, right?
See it?
She already reborn.
Sure, I know.
So, I cannot share to her.
Okay, one more thing. Metta, if you know what kind of living being she is,
I don't know.
it depends. Okay? I mean, sharing merit is okay. You can share with anybody. Metta, sure, shall be reborn as a human being or as a deva or as a beta, anybody, right? We cannot know. In this kind of case, we cannot say, I am ready metta to my grandmother because she already passed away. No more your grandmother. New life. And new relatives. She may be daughter of somebody, or son of somebody, right? Maybe aunt or uncle or somebody, right? That's why. No more your grandmother. Okay? Okay, now we should share merit, right? Oh, 9:20 already. Too late. Okay. Itawada ja amehi sambadam bunya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe satta numodandu sabba sambati siriya idame nyatinam hotu sukhita hondu nyadayo idame nyatinam hotu sukhita hondu nyadayo idame nyatinam hotu sukhita hondu nyadayo idame bunyam asawakaya waham hotu idame bunyam nibbanasa bhajayo hotu mama bunya bhagam sabba sadanam bhajemi te sabbe me samam bunya bhagam lavandu sadhu sadhu sadhu.